very easy to get tired and worn out by the political maneuvers that is displayed on daily media. We like to think that maybe a lot of this stuff doesn't have anything to do with us, but perhaps it really does. I experienced with 10-minute Torah, day number 4 of the double Torah portion, Chukat, Balak. Let's get over now to chapter 22 of Numbers, Bamidbar, and deal with the Balak portion. Verse 1 and following says, And the children of Israel set out and camped in the desert plains of the Moab beyond the Jordan of Jericho. And Balak son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites, and Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people because they were many, and Moab was in dread because of the children of Israel. Moab said to the elders of Midian, Now this company is licking up all that is around us as an ox licks up the grass of the field. Now Balak, son of Zippor, was sovereign of the Moabites at that time. Israel has dealt devastating blows to 2 protector city-states that guard the entrance into the land of Canaan. That is Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og, sovereign of Bashan. These 2 entities have been now annihilated and wiped out, and there are no protectors. And here comes Israel making their charge. Balak, the sovereign of the Moabites at this time, the word says, suggesting that he is someone recently appointed, perhaps. The rabbinical take is that he's actually not a Moabite, but he was hired from Midian to come in because he was a military hero, a mighty warrior. And he has found himself now in a quandary. It says here that this devastation that has taken place is moving Balak to say, I need help. And I need help that is beyond military prowess and strategy. And it's not a new weapon that I need. There's more going on here than what I know how to deal with. Kind of gives us an understanding a little bit, perhaps, of what's going on in the political realms of things. Now, one party against the other really doesn't concern us. And let's just be honest. The R beside one party doesn't mean that they're righteous, and the D beside the other party doesn't mean that they're demonic. Let's just get over that. They're rascals and so forth. We'll leave it at that on both sides. All those folks are up there doing what they do because it's what they do. I live close enough to D.C. to tell you that there is a sucking in power that will draw you in and just consume you. You may go up and think you're going to change the world for a really good purpose. It's not hard to get sucked into the game. That understood. Let's also understand at the world stage, however, things are said and done with a lot more purpose. When the UN, the UK, the US, the EU, and a lot of other alphabet groups align themselves against Israel, it's more than the cause of and plight of what are called the Palestinian people, those Arabs who live along the seacoast. Let's be honest, those governmental bodies are just not that concerned about that small group of people. What they are concerned about is that sliver of land called Israel. And it just gnaws on them in their spirit. This is not something you look at on paper. This is not something that you maneuver around because, well, it's to such great advantage for you. It is because they're being driven. This is a demonic alignment of hearts and minds to divide up the land and to portion it out to defeat the covenant people of Israel. And when it comes to our brother Yehuda, who should be applauded and cheered for getting in the land, maintaining the land, holding on to the land, protecting their culture and their history and the Torah, and so many other accolades that we could attribute to them. They should be applauded and cheered. Let us also understand the kingdom is centered in that land. And any of us who believe that we have a role to play in that kingdom should be focused on what's happening and being directed toward the land and its people, praying for them, asking God to guard them, to encourage them, to protect them. More often than not, however, Israel, the people in the land, and Israel, the people scattered the world over, Am Israel, covenant people Israel, we are oblivious to the maneuvers that are going on, just like the people of Israel under Moshe were oblivious to what Balak and Balaam end up conspiring to accomplish. Yah knows. Yah's involved right in the thick of it. But did Moshe know that Balak had sent down to hire Balaam, the Goyim prophet, to come to his aid? Probably not. Probably not. Did it make a difference in the end result of things? No, it really didn't. But it shows us that there are things that are going on in the spiritual realm that are driving the deals made in the physical realm. What does that say to us? Balak's attempt was to bring Balaam, this prophet, into the picture so that Balaam could curse Israel and bring them down to a state of parity, level playing field with the Moabites. He recognized that Israel's advantage was not numerical, nor due to weaponry, nor due to the military strategies of Yehoshua. It was a spiritual advantage. If he could somehow dilute and disperse that spiritual advantage, then he had a chance to keep Israel from destroying Moab. Let's understand this. The same tactic is still being employed even to this day. It says that they were in dread of Israel. It's the same phrase that is used in the book of Shemot, or Exodus chapter 1, where the people of Mitzrayim and Pharaoh were in dread of Israel. So there is this spiritual equality going on even in Pharaoh's mind and Balak's mind, in the land of Mitzrayim and now in the land of Moab. This is the same demonic influence. It says that they were afraid. Moab was afraid. It means to be a sojourner, a ger, to dwell and be afraid, to live as a stranger in the land. And then it says that they were in dread, they were coots, they were grieved, loathingly sickened with dread to the place of vomiting. Our adversary fears a resilient, praying, spirit-filled, encouraged, adamant, and joyful body of Messiah. And he seeks to bring us down to parity with the world that is around us, causing us to be consumed with the dread that consumes our neighbors and friends, causing us to be overwhelmed with pressures and tragedies and circumstances and jealousies and angers and disagreements, and the list goes on. Let's not give ground to him. Let's understand this is a spiritual fight, and we win this in the spirit. And Yah will give us his victory. We'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, shalom.